Hello and welcome back to Mass Effect 2. What am I doing on the bridge? Well, I figured that I might as well show off what Joker's reaction is to me activating Legion before I am forced to override the save that would allow me to show this off easily enough. So let's go.
So yeah, Geth on the ship. Geth? Alright, we're all freaking insane.
Yep.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
Alright, well that was fun. Now let's go back to our actual last save and go talk to Joker again. To get some reaction to Jacob's loyalty mission. Hi Jacob. So the reason why I chose to go for Jacob first is because he complements our party very well. We will always be using Legion, so Jacob is a natural choice.
That stuff with Jacob's dad, it's bullshit, right? Because it looked like bullshit to me.
Sure.
I assume everything is going well up here?
Edie and I are just enjoying the calm before the shitstorm, Commander.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
Also, when you consider that things like that, which we've seen in Jacob's mission, when you think about it, it used to be par for the course back in the Columbus times. And for that matter, Columbus himself was not very difficult. Not very different from that. And yes, Thane wants to speak, I don't care. But anyway, what I want to do now, we've done one mission for the loyalty. We have a lot more loyalty missions here, including Thane's, which we will get to at some point, but not right now. However, we still have 2 recruitment missions, and I might as well do one now. And that one would be Dossier Tali. Tali Zora Vasnima. Expert in combat tech, systems hacking. Strong engineering background, familiar with Normandy. Formerly listed as Tali Zora Naraya, the Quarian engineer earned her adult name after helping Shepard defeat Saren 2 years ago. Tali is currently on a classified assignment for the Migrant Fleet Admiralty Board on Haestrom, deep in Geth-controlled space. Go to Haestrom. Go to the planet Haestrom in the Geth-controlled Dolan system. So this is a bit unusual because you actually have the name in the dossier rather than the title, which would be Quarian Machinist. And well, it is one of our former squad members, and we did see Tali back on Freedom's Progress and she didn't want to join us. Would this be any different? Well, let's find out. However, going on this mission might be quite difficult to begin with, because in my opinion this might be one of the most difficult recruitment missions in the entire game. You'll see why once I go there. In fact, just going there might be a bad idea. Before doing some other things that would give us more power-ups and things like that. Like doing Legion's loyalty mission, things like that. But I want to get that out of the way right now if I can, so let's try and do this. And here we are at Dolan, which is the main system, looks like, of the far rim. Interesting. And this is one red giant. So first we have Gotha. A dwarf planet, Gotha has a pressure cooker atmosphere that brings its surface temperature to a scorching level. Carbon dioxide and ethane are plentiful in the planet's hazy atmosphere. There has been some speculation in the mining community about whether all of the precious metals were mined by the Quarians before they fled the system some 3 centuries ago. Rumors abound that anyone who could brave the Geth in the system could find loads of naturally occurring diamond on Gotha, but this is likely just a Starship legend. Travel advisory: Gotha is in Geth space. All civilian traffic is prohibited. Well, we are stealth, so we can shoot a few probes, probably. Oh, and it's rich. Yeah, that's cool. So yes, this is a planet in the Geth control space, and the whole mission takes place in Geth control space.
Probe launched.
Which I can imagine that it would be quite interesting for Quarians to look at, indeed. But then, do they really have stealth systems quite like we do?
Probe launched.
I'm not entirely certain, and I'm not entirely certain if the Geth would be very forthcoming to people coming into their system and trying
Probe
to
launched.
mess with their planets, former Quarian colonies or not.
Probe away. Launching probe.
I would expect that they would have like something akin to a monitoring system next to the mass relay. So when a ship jumps out, they would immediately notice it and then go do something with it. I'm not sure what, since as Legion explained, they're regular Geth and heretic Geth. For that matter, I'm not sure which kind of Geth control this part of space.
Launched.
I guess we'll figure out.
Launching probe.
So wow, so many probes and it's still rich. Well, no longer.
Probe launched.
And it's dropping quite quickly.
Launching probe.
But it was hardly worth it.
Probe away.
Still worth it though.
Probe away.
And now it's completely depleted. Wow. Alright. So we got that. Is there... Yeah, there's no refueling station here. That's funny, but it does make sense. Making sure that there's nothing in the asteroid belt. Not even some ghost planets? No. Chowroom. Once a starship refueling station for the Quarians, Chowroom has expanded under Geth rule. Thousands of orbital platforms surround the planet and its many moons, refining helium into helium-3. A vast Geth fleet comes and goes between Chowroom and Haestrom, preventing all but the most stealthy of spy drones from discovering any information about it. Current estimates place the Geth fleet numbers between 5,000 and 10,000 ships, with unknown levels of armament. Travel advisory: most intelligence estimates state that approaching Chowroom is tantamount to suicide. All civilian traffic is prohibited. Largest station, Hell's Hive, Demon Station. Population 250 to 500,000 platforms. Colony occupied in 1895 CE. Alright. This is 6. Do mass relays also have the indication of orbiting around the star? I guess so. Haestrom. Formerly a Quarian colony, Haestrom was established to observe the phenomena on Dolan, the system's parent star. Dolan appeared to be unstable, with a high possibility of erupting prematurely into a red giant. Haestrom was lost to the Geth in 1896 CE. Soon after, all communication from the planet and its attendant space stations ceased. The Geth have shown no signs of treating Dolan as a threat over the past 3 centuries, other than establishing several space stations near it. Dolan's magnetic eruptions and solar output overwhelm most communications near it. It is unclear how the Geth have compensated. Today, spy probe scans indicate extensive orbital construction around Haestrom, housing thousands of Geth platforms and an unknown number of Geth software mines. It is not known how many Geth are on the planet's surface. Spy probes face interference from Dolan, making remote scanning difficult. Resource estimations based on Geth mining, refining, and fabricating practices suggest that the planet has at least 20 more years of use before it is exhausted. Intelligence experts speculate that the Geth have not exploited all of the resources because they wish to keep some in reserve for repairs. Travel advisory: Haestrom is a Geth stronghold. Military spy drones using cutting-edge stealth technology are the only vehicles that have returned unharmed from Geth space. All civilian traffic is prohibited. Well, good thing we're not still in traffic. 6 astronomical units, 15 years to orbit. Radius is fine, day length is quite short. No atmosphere. 44 Celsius on average, that's pretty high. And okay, surface gravity. And there's no option to scan, there's just land. Well, let's try and do this. Geth traditionally have strong shields and low health. And yes, so Jacob is now loyal, which means that he also has an additional outfit. Not much of a change, to be honest. So obviously I need Legion, and we need someone who is good at dealing with synthetics, and that would probably be Zaid. Because of disruptor ammo and disruptor ammo. And now we have 5 squad points, so I could also get overload. Well, I guess so. Heavy overload or area overload. Your pulse now damages synthetic enemies so brutally that they explode on death. Or you have increased your pulse strength to cover a wide area, making it easy to hit multiple targets. The way that this works, it's not very useful to hit multiple targets, because shields will regenerate very quickly after all. There's still impact radius even for heavy overload. And this does more shield damage. And more weapon overheat. No, it's the same. So this just has more impact radius, whereas this does more damage. So I think I'll go with heavy overload. And he still does not have enough for Mercenary Veteran level 4. Alright. And I think... should I keep the arc projector? Keep it for now. I think there will be an option to change it later. And yes, this looks okay. And this looks okay. Wait. You don't get the Viper. You get the Mantis. Alright.
Shepard, our data indicates the tally is somewhere in these ruins. There is considerable Geth activity and an environmental hazard. Solar output has overwhelmed Haestrom's protective magnetosphere. Exposure to direct sunlight will damage your shields.
we're not wearing the breather helmets. And this does not look like something that would have no atmosphere. What is going on? Alright. Well, first things first. Got shields, this is useful. Alright. So, you can see that there are shadowed areas and there are areas with light. Going onto areas with light is a bad idea. Sometimes you cannot avoid it. So you have to just run very fast. And your squad members also get the same effect. This, however, only hurts your shields somehow. Probably nobody expected you to stay in the sunlight for long enough to take damage to health. Where are we supposed to be going now?
Heat is degrading shield performance.
Even Calliston wasn't this bad. Fight from the shade.
So we will fight in the shade. This is Sparta, apparently. Sealed. Authorization. Carl Rieger, Migrant Fleet Marines. Okay. Okay. I am going to do that, yes.
Emergency log entry. The gates are here. I've stayed to buy the others time. Anyone who gets this, find Calizora. She and that data are all that matters. Kill us alive.
And looks like there's nothing else of interest here aside from this damaged Geth. Also, there's a Geth pulse rifle.
Emergency log entry. The gates are here. I've stayed to buy
I
the
cannot
others
take it
time.
though.
Anyone who gets this, find Calizora. She and that data are all that matters. Kill us alive.
Guest dropship incoming!
This is a nice range though. So switch up to sniper rifles.
Got it.
Change weapon.
Nice. Wow. This does amazing damage with Disruptor. Oh, you're in the way. In the way.
Taking hits.
Also stuns them. That is amazing. Oh wait, that's Legion. Friendly fire, sorry. And looks like we're done. Not quite.
Under fire. Malfunction and bad armor penetrates critical damage.
Are we fine? Oh, hello there. Is that... that's probably Legions. The Geth can do the same thing that Legion can do, so it's hard to tell sometimes. And I can't save. Let's go to the other side. Cannot see anyone out there. I can hear someone though. Let's advance forward a bit. You're in the sun. Probably shouldn't be there. And there goes his shields. Where's that coming from? Over there. I'm not seeing anything though. Oh. Aha! That'll make the move. Not sure where though. Yeah, I'm not sure where they are or what they're doing. That's great. And you really shouldn't... Oh. Excellent. And there's someone else up there. Oh, well, look at that. Whoa, 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 don't do that. Man, this disruptor ammo is amazing. Okay. Well, that works. Oh. That's not ideal.
Shield performance degraded by heat. Recommend alternate route.
We're fine. And I still cannot save, that's great. Now the question is... where are the goodies? I know there are goodies somewhere, and this is a lot of space to cover. Also, technically I can climb things. It's not very useful though, because it doesn't let me climb too far up. I think the goodies are generally down here somewhere? Not seeing any. Still not seeing any. There is a wall here. Might be something down there. There's definitely nothing else in that direction. Might be something here. crates. Aha! There is something here. Customized heavy pistol.
This might be useful.
Heavy pistol damage. I think this goes up. Looks like it, so let's switch. Just in case.
Switch up. Change weapon.
Ah, medical station.
Abundant balance.
Oh. Okay, you guys are pretty good with assault rifles here. Oh. Wow. Yeah, these guys really know what they're doing. I still cannot save. And you guys are staying out in the sun. That's not a good idea. I definitely want to make sure that I'm not missing something out here. I have an ability to go up here. And there doesn't really seem to be much here, but if there are enemies out there, there might be something out there. Also, they have this pretty cool sound effect for overheating the shields. It's too bad that it's not used for overheating your weapons. Hint, hint, hint. Huh, there is a heatsink out there. Okay, next question. Is there anything of worth out here? There is refined iridium. That is one large crate of iridium, and it doesn't really give that much iridium in comparison. Interestingly enough, these iridium crates are actually unique in this level, in that you can loot them several times if you save and load. Once we get that ability. Making sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, so that's where we came up from. Looks like we're not missing anything. At least not here. Uh-oh. Probably shouldn't stand next to this thing, whatever it is. No, no, no.
Taking hits.
Nice. If it moves...
This'll put him down!
Definitely isn't. If it moves out, then I can shoot it quite easily. Looks like that's not necessary. We still cannot save. Ah. What is going on? Okay, so our objective is out there. Anything of note here? There is some Hastings. And I'm up to 71, that's nice. We can also hear more Geth. Oh dear. Oh, they're occupied with doing something else. Oh, we should help. Nice. What is going out there?
This is Squad Leader Calbreaker. Do you copy? The guests sent a dropship towards Up 2. Talisaurus secure. We need backup. Bunkered up here. Can you send support?
Can we send support? Damaged Geth Hunter. This is not great. Because that's a new type of Geth. Also, Geth pulse rifle. And there's a Tempest SMG. X9D Tempest machine gun acquired and equipped. The following squad members are now able to use this weapon. And we have it right off the bat. So let's see, what can this thing do? It's even more of a bullet storm than our usual submachine gun. Now let's try and use it. See what happens. And finally we can save. Wow. And I guess since this is an opportunity to save, let's have that be it for now. Let's just go read some more things from the codex. Have this as
humans detected Aiea as before the Geth revolt 300 years ago. The Quarians colonized Haestrom to study the mysterious instability of its sun, which threatened premature eruption into a red giant. As a scientific outpost of minimal military value, Haestrom was ill-equipped to repel Geth forces during the insurrection and fell quickly under their control. Captured Geth planetary survey data indicates that despite sustaining damage during the war, Haestrom's architecture remains as it was 300 years ago, preserving a Quarian architectural style that no longer exists anywhere else in the galaxy. Because Haestrom's sun has overwhelmed the planet's protective magnetosphere, humans foolhardy enough to venture into Geth-controlled Haestrom must exercise extreme caution. Minutes of radiation exposure will overload shields, and hours of exposure will kill. Furthermore, solar output renders surface-to-orbit communication nearly impossible.
Yeah, so there is Quarian architecture. Now they're the migrant fleet, they have no colonies, so this is the only time that you get to see something like that. Fortunately, not a whole lot is really visible from their architecture, because it's mostly in ruins. But hey. What else do we have here?
Known
Perseus
as the
Veil.
Starcraft, as vast in natural beauty as it is in threat, the purple and gold nebula called the Perseus Veil forms the natural border between Geth space and the Terminus Systems. The Veil's total opacity prevents Council intelligence from surveying Geth activity. Theoretically, the Geth could be preparing a devastating attack against which the Council could be defenseless, or the Geth could have died out, so that the defense budget against them could be gaining the Alliance nothing but economic ruination. Despite fears of Geth, prospectors do occasionally mount salvage ventures inside the Veil. One ended in tragedy. Using techno-mental domination, the Geth drew the team into the Veil before aiming them back as husks at the organic society that produced them. A leaked classified Spectre report claims that the Dreadnought Sovereign, commanded by ex-Spectre Saren Arterius and crewed by Geth, hid near the Veil before initiating the 2183 Citadel attack.
Well, that does make sense for Sovereign to be in Geth space until he's ready. Also, yes, this whole thing with husks, turning prospectors into husks and then sending them back, we saw that in the first game. Of course, now we know that it's not the Geth that make that, rather it is the Reapers. But it's a matter of planting a Reaper technology artifact into it, and then waiting for indoctrination to happen. Alright, so that will be all for now, and I will see you all next time. Later.